The Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum is located on 205 West 9th Street in South in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and the Railroad Museum is open Mondays through Thursdays 9 to 4 and Fridays 9 to 4:30. The depot is basically a replica Soo Line depot, and it is likely a replica depot that looks like what one that was here in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and used to look like and would be next to the rail line, and this one was built for the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum, and also it has a visitor center inside, and it even has the Ladysmith Chamber of Commerce as well, and also there is a lot of railroad memorabilia in this area as well.
What you see right behind me, Soo Line 500.
Soo Line 500A was built by Electromotive Division in LaGrange, Illinois in 1949 and is the 110/15th diesel locomotive built by that factory and is a FP7A type diesel locomotive. Originally was built as a demo unit as Electromotive Division 9051 as it was the FP7A demonstrator. Then it was sold to the Soo Line Railroad and renumbered as Soo Line 500A, and also it was painted with a white and red paintwork. Later it was then painted with a maroon and yellow paintwork, and also was used for pulling passenger trains for the Soo Line Railroad as well. Then later on, Soo Line 500A was retired and then came to be part of the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and also you can even visit the locomotive's cab and sit where the engineer and conductor used to sit as well. And the access way to the cab is to go through the coaches.
What you see right behind me, Soo Line 552.
Soo Line 552 was built by the Barney and Smith Car Company in Dayton, Ohio around the 1900s and is a heavyweight railway post office coach. Also, this is like the second Soo Line passenger coach 552 built. It was used as a railway post office whenever it was used for passenger service on the Soo Line Railroad many years ago. Also, the mail was picked up, sorted, and delivered in this railway car. Mail was picked up and dropped off without the train stopping whenever it was used on the Soo Line Railroad and used on a heavyweight passenger train many years ago as well. Then later on, Soo Line 552 was retired and then came to be part of the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and you can even visit the interior of the car as well. In 2002, the car, along with the other two passenger cars with it, was blown down and it had it lay on its side by the tornado, then got lifted back onto the track eventually.
What you see right behind me, Soo Line 358.
Sioux Line 358 was built by the Barney and Smith Car Company in Dayton, Ohio in 1907 and is a combine car. This car was originally built as a sleeper car. Originally, this car was built as a 12-1 sleeper car and was originally numbered as Sioux Line 1240 and named Bruce, and for many years it was used for passenger service, then later was renumbered as Sioux Line 358 and converted to being a combine car, and one ended where the baggage compartment is, and also the other end is the passengers, where the passengers were as well. Then later on, Sioux Line 358 was retired and then came to be part of the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and you can even visit the interior of the car as well. In 2002, the car, along with the other two passenger cars with it, was blown down and had it lay on its side by the tornado, then got lifted back onto the track eventually.
What you see right behind me is Sioux Line 998.
Sioux Line 998 was built by the Barney and Smith Car Company in Dayton, Ohio in 1911 and is a passenger coach. This coach was used on the Sioux Line Railroad and carried people on board as well. Then later on, Sioux Line 998 was retired and then came to be part of the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and can be seen on display today, and you can even visit the interior of the car as well. In 2002, the car, along with the other two passenger cars with it, was blown down and had it lay on its side by the tornado. Then got lifted back onto the track eventually.
You can see right here is a maintenance of way flatbed. That's the shed and displayed at the museum. And these doors are usually open when the museum's open at the same time. So you can see this flatbed. And it may have been used by the Sioux Line years ago. You can see right here, this is a switch stand that is used for switching tracks, but this one's retired these days. And it's displayed here at the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum here in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, next to the bunk car. And it may be possible it was used by the Sioux Line years ago. What you see right behind me is the Sioux Line bunk car.
The Sioux Line bunk car was built around the 1900s and is a bunk car. This car was originally built as a box car and also was used for carrying cargo on board as well, and used on freight trains as well, and its original number is unknown. Then later on it was put into maintenance of way service on the Sioux Line Railroad as well and made as a bunk car, and during its maintenance of way career the original number is unknown. Then later on, the car was retired and got put on display at the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, where it can be seen today, and you can even visit the interior of the car as well.
What you see right behind me is Sioux Line 990-103.
Sioux Line 99103 was built by American Cart and Foundry in St. Charles, Missouri in 1911 and is a wooden caboose. This caboose was used for the Wisconsin Central Railway, predecessor of the Sioux Line. Also, this caboose was originally used for the Wisconsin Central as Wisconsin Central 99103 and was then used on the Sioux Line as Sioux Line 99103, and also it would be used on the back of freight trains for both of those railroads and used as the train crew's office. Then later on, this caboose was retired and got put on display at the Ladysmith Visitor Center and Rail Museum in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, where it can be seen today, and you can even visit the interior of the car as well.
Okay, I'm going to show you the exhibits in detail. Also, I'll get behind the camera and show you around, so here we go.
Okay, so walking through the depot, here's a steam engine made of wood, made by Brooks in 1900, and some, there's a potbelly stove, and here's what the ticket office would have looked like, as well as here's some telegraph typers, as well as here's the diesel, looks like the one outside, as well as some pictures of all the Sioux Line diesels, and some lanterns and such. Oh, and here's Sioux Line 2719. And yeah, a lot to see in here. There's the steam engine in town, the 1011. Yeah, so much. And here's a step bench as well.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed my